I guess, the primary area of where you want to focus your improvement in year 3 here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that I've kind of looked back on this last season and revalue myself. I think one of the biggest things is kind of post-snap recognition. So just, second year in an offense. I actually haven't had that yet. So to kind of like truly be in a system longer than a year and like look back at things that I've learned from last year and all my notes that I took last year and everything like that, and actually, incorporate those into this year. I think that my post-snap recognition is going to get better with just decision-making, when to come off of stuff, and when I can truly attack things a little bit stronger and stuff like that. So being a little bit more aggressive in my decisions because I've just been in the system now for a little bit. So I think that's going to be huge for me. Obviously trying to, with that comes just quicker reads. So that's going to, it's going to make the ball get out of my hand faster, more explosive plays, and ultimately, less sacks because I'm getting the ball out of my hand. So that's going to be huge, I think, just for the whole offense in general. And so I think that's going to be really good. Just continue to work on pocket presence and then just situation awareness.
I guess you talked about post-snap recognition. Was it you looked pre-snap, you thought something would be there, and it wasn't quite there as you thought it would be, or was it that you just weren't trusting things after?
It's more just like whenever you're like in an offense with a new play, like the more that you do it, the more that you get good at it, right? So, if basic, my basic read is, I'm reading the Mike Backer, and sure, that might be my first read. If I only ran it in one game, then I'm really only looking at the Mike. But if I get it to the third game and the fourth game, then I kind of know what he's doing before he's getting there, and because I know the play, so now I can start, getting the backside safety, just like stuff like that. So it's more just like getting used to and running the same play over and over again. You start to pick off things from defenses, so you can just kind of get through the play faster and like, say that I can knock off my first read right off the bat, pre-snap and post-snap, because I've just ran it enough. I don't know. I'm not explaining that very well, but I think that it's just going to help. It's gonna be both pre and post. So.
I guess what does the process actually look like for you in terms of going back and watching the last season? Like, do you go game by game, or is it a cut-up type deal?
Yeah, I definitely went game by game, and then I had a lot of cut-ups made for me that I'm kind of still watching. Like I'll go watch tonight. Just certain cut-ups throughout the year, whether it was missed opportunities. Just I got tons of them that some of our guys have made for me, so it's been really good. So I'll, kind of after this, I'm kind of just knocking away. Before spring started, I watched last year's games, and then now I'm kind of knocking away those cut-ups. So it's been really good, really helpful for me. So.
What is it like watching a missed opportunity real? I mean, I guess they're showing you a guy like that's wide open and see him. It's like,
yeah, that or just whether it's a missed throw or a wrong decision or. Missed throw or something like that. So, yeah. Yep.
Coach Sweeney said that in his opening presser Wednesday that one of the goals for the offense is to regain that explosive chemistry. How, in this spring, how are you guys going about to recapture that explosiveness?
Yeah. I think for one, we battled with a lot of injuries last year at receiver. And so much of the offseason is gaining chemistry. Right, so gaining chemistry with your receivers and those guys, and he brought up a good point, which is we had guys that were battling through a lot of injuries last year where, guys wouldn't be able to really practice, and they would just kind of get good enough for every game and then end up playing the game, but they really wouldn't practice. And I think that having guys, getting those reps throughout the week is going to be huge because, we would get to the actual game, and it'd be my first time throwing a certain route to a certain guy, like ever. Because I haven't actually repped that with a guy just because he's been battling through injuries. And it's not my fault, it's not his fault, it's nobody's fault. It's just kind of the way, the cards are dealt sometimes. So I think just having everybody is going to be really good for us. And then, again, just a second go around in the offense of just becoming a little bit more aggressive at certain times. And so, yeah.
Real quick, if anybody needs Chris Vizina, he'll be right outside, but y'all can continue with Cade as well.
If you go back and look at the last game, play that last drive, what does that do for
your confidence? And did you kind of like the hurry up aspect of it to maybe not have to think as much and just react a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely liked the tempo of it for sure. I think that what really made that drive special was we didn't have any like superhero crazy, 360 scramble across the field backwards throw that got us the 3rd and 18 or whatever. Like, no, it was just doing what we do and doing it very efficiently. Like, we didn't need to do anything crazy to be efficient. And I think that that's where this offense is very, very elite, is when we're doing the simple plays and the routine plays and doing them very, very efficiently. And when we did that, we drive with 2 minutes and we overcome 3rd and 18 and we get down there and score, and like that just showed like our offense is like, it doesn't have to be the crazy play that wins us the game. Like, it's just doing what we do very efficiently. And I think that drive is exactly what we picture our offense being as a whole, of like doing that consistently. And at times we did that last year, but we just couldn't quite finish when we really needed to at the very, very end. But we had drives like that all year. So you look back at last year and there's so much promising stuff. But I think it's just finishing in the red zone and taking care of the football, and we're right there.
Shipley's gone, but how's it feel to know you've got a guy like Phil Moffitt behind you?
Yeah, so fun. I think we have an incredible running back room. We got to do some short yardage stuff today, and we had a bunch of different running backs making huge time plays and, getting big down there. And so it was really fun, but, love having Phil back there. Just love the guy and such a great leader. And, nobody else I would want back there, So it's great. Gonna miss Ship for sure, though.
Obviously, the roster is a little bit different this year. What do you anticipate being the biggest difference in the team?
I think that we were just a really young team last year. I think that, we had to learn the hard way sometimes, and I had to learn the hard way, and a lot of us just had to learn the hard way, and that's just how it is. And, I think that we're not trying to be too much. We're just gonna come to work every day and get our results and show up in August.
You mentioned it being your second year, into your second year in offensive coordinator Garrett Riley's system. How comfortable have you gotten with the system so far?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, obviously you take about 2 months from it since the game and kind of since the season, and you kind of, you just finish a 5-month kind of stretch from fall camp to the last game. So you kind of step away from the game for a little bit and kind of just get in the weight room and just kind of step away from a little bit. So obviously getting back into things, you kind of get back in the groove of things and start remembering things you kind of forgot about. So. But it's been really good. I love it, and it's been really fun to kind of truly look back at last season and like carry over my notes. Like, that's been really fun for me, of carry over every little detail of little plays that I wrote per game last year and carry those into spring ball. That's been really fun for me. Just kind of gives me an advantage. It's not my first time ever learning it.
One of the blessings from the injuries that the guys had is that different guys had to step up at different times. When you put all of it together, the pieces are there. They just haven't necessarily always been there at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. We have 7 offensive linemen that have started and won big time games for us. That's huge. That's huge for us. Just in depth wise at O-line. Just naming receivers that have played and legitimately played in games. Just receivers, not tight ends. Antonio, Troy, Adam, Ronan, Cole, Tyler, and one other guy I'm probably missing. I don't know. And then you got Bryant Wesco coming in too, who's a pretty good football player. So, and that's just receivers. That's 7 or 8 guys that have really played a lot of football for us. So a ton of depth, a ton of experience in that room, and then obviously just an incredible tight end room, just really, really solid there. So really, really exciting about that.
Do you like the prospect of opening the season with an opponent like the caliber of Georgia? Do you like that? Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Right now we're focused on getting better, and that's what really we need to focus on. So that's what our mindset's on.
You talked about post-snap recognition, but I guess that's the pass game. In the run game, was there anything in particular you feel like you could improve on or you look back on and say?
Not a ton for me personally. I mean, not a ton for me. I mean, not a ton that I can think of really. Not in the run game. Yeah.
Cade, you talked about the red zone offense, and when it gets down to the red zone, it's really tight in there, smaller windows, you have to make decisions faster, all that. So when you take the notes that you've taken from last year, coming to spring ball, not only how have you improved since then, but what changes can you make in the red zone offense that can improve in 2024?
Yeah, I think that it starts with just, taking a deep breath. I think that that's one thing that our offense and defense did last year is kind of getting down the red zone would sometimes get a little frantic, and just taking a deep breath and just calming down. And, I think that's going to be good for us. And just kind of taking a deep breath. And but, we'll start getting into more situational stuff on Wednesday. And so I'll let you know next time.
I apologize if you've been asked this, but that just came in here. The proposals of putting the stuff in the helmet next year. Your thoughts on that and how that could be helpful?
Yeah, we started doing that. I guess the first practice. We started the first practice. Yeah, first practice like last week. So I've enjoyed it. I mean I like it. I think it's kind of fun, just kind of to be able to hear it. But I think it could be really good just for kind of tempo and in our offense especially. It's kind of like perfect for our offense. So I don't think we'll use it like every play or like most of the plays, but I think we'll take advantage of it when he wants to. And I think that we're just kind of playing around with it because obviously none of us have ever done it before. Coach Riley's never done it before. I've never done it before. So we're just kind of finding ways and messing around with it right now, and probably use it kind of more whenever we get to some of our scrimmages and stuff like that.
Now imagine, because you still with your tempo, you'll still be doing hand signals, but maybe that's for like if you see something you got to change an audible or something like that.
Yeah. So yep. So
On that same note, the tablets on the sidelines, being able to watch film, how do you think that's going to change what you guys can do throughout the game?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really talked about that at all right now. I know we used it for the Kentucky game. I liked it just because there were certain times where we got to kind of see certain like tips and stuff that DBs would give and linebackers, so we could be able to kind of see that. But at the end of the day, you still got to get out there and play the game. So it can only really help so much. But I think it's good. We didn't really get a huge like amount of practice with it. So.
Did you think that helped a little bit though, maybe on that 2-minute drive there at the end, that you went back and you were looking at different things they were doing in some situations?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I can't really remember, to be honest, just because it was a little bit ago. But I remember liking it, and it was effective. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
You mentioned Brian Westcott. Like, what are your initial impressions of him?
Yeah, he's been really proud of him. Since he's gotten here, he's just been working, and not a high ego guy at all. Just a guy that just comes to work every single day, and just really proud of him. But he's smooth, just fluid. That's the best way I can think of it. Just fluid. Great, got really good, just ball in the air skills, and just really good at tracking it, and great separation, and just he's gonna be a really good player for us. Oh yeah.
Sorry if this has been asked before already, but you talked last year a lot about, I can win a national championship here, Clemson win a national championship. What about the 2014 this game makes you confident that can happen? And with the playoff expanding, does that excite you, the idea that you can maybe lose 2 games and still get in and still have your shot after that?
Yeah. Obviously we're not lowering the standard of ever gonna say, hey, we can lose 2 games. I mean, our goal is to go undefeated, and I fully believe that this is the team that can do it. And I think we've got every single piece that we need to be able to do that. And if I just continue to take another step this spring and this summer, we just continue to keep our head on straight and just keep on working and shutting out the noise. I don't see how that can't happen. I'll believe it.
Take 1 or 2 more if anybody has any.
Speaking of wide receivers, CV was out there talking about Tink. He looked pretty good to me too out there. We kind of didn't know, is he going to be a wide receiver? What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, very shifty guy. Kind of reminds me a lot about Tyler. I think that he's going to be a really great slot for us, and just really shifty guy. Going to be a good punt returner guy too. So, definitely got a ton of high hopes for him. It's really exciting. Also, a guy that just, is about his business, and you love to have just a guy that just is up here on the weekends and getting extra catching in, getting extra jug machines in, and definitely really excited about him.
This time, last year and even starting fall, you didn't have all these weapons out there. You've been able to come out here, 6 a.m., 5 a.m. and throw with these guys, build some chemistry. What's it like now for you to go out there and go, playmaker?
Yeah.
What's it like for you?
It's really fun. It's really fun. You step up there and you got some dudes around you, some freaking dudes, and that's exciting. And it's exciting for me, obviously, just because I got matchups everywhere. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for matchups, and it's not about whether their guy's better than our guy. It's it's about who's against our guy, because I'm trusting our guy. So it's really exciting that there's a one-on-one matchup and there's 4 of them, and I kind of get to just pick the best one and let's go sometimes. So not in every play, but certain plays like that if they're in man coverage, and it's exciting. It's really exciting because I think we've got some really big weapons, and it's really exciting. A lot of depth for sure. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Cade.
Appreciate it.